What do you do when you've started your business and it's not really starting as much as you hoped it would? And maybe you're not getting clients, you're not getting customers, you're not getting the business that you need to actually have a functioning business. That's going to be the question that I answer today. It's Mailbox Monday, which is the weekly episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets where I answer your questions. Remember, you can go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com/ask. The link is in the description in order to submit your question to have it answered on an upcoming episode. Today's question is from Charity. She says, I just started my business last month and I feel like giving up because I haven't made a single sale online. What do I do? Also, I want to know how to attract loyal customers and be an expert in my niche. All right. So lots of good questions, definitely been there. Let's answer it after the break. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. Okay. So first things first, today's episode is sponsored by me. Specifically, we'll say it's sponsored by my Launch Your Client Business free mini course. If you have not gone through this yet, you really need to. The link is in the description. Basically, what it does is it breaks down the entire thinking process and planning process required to lay the foundation and launch your client business. So we're talking about things like getting really specific about your market and your audience and your potential clients, getting really specific about your offer and how it solves a specific problem for those specific people, right? Specific. I keep saying that. And then it shares a bit about my minimum viable conversion system, which is the whole process that I use to connect with clients, get them on the phone, and turn them into, a paying client. And that's all in the Launch Your Client Business mini course, and it's free for you right now if you check out the link in the description. So my first reaction when I read this question from Charity, again, she said, I just started my business last month and I feel like giving up because I haven't made a single sale online. Don't give up. If you're 1 month in, seriously, you are just getting started. Life is long. Your opportunity to run and grow this business is long. It is not magical that you open a business and suddenly you're going to have all these clients and customers. You have to go out and figure it out. And a successful entrepreneur is someone who goes out and figures it out, not someone who says, I put up a sign and nobody's coming in a month later, so maybe this is not a business that works. No, the business, I don't know. I don't know exactly what this business is. That was not specified in the question. But honestly, you have to spend more than a month trying to make it work. You have to put in probably a lot of work. Your business is only going to work if you work it. So what do you do? What do you do here? The first thing that I would say is if you're a month in, you have probably just gotten started with the number of things that you could try. And maybe these are things that you learn in my free episodes. Maybe they're things that you learn in the Launch Your Client Business. Maybe they're things that you've learned in books. Maybe they're things you learn who knows where, right? But try more things for getting customers, getting clients. The funny thing is, I can give you models and principles and strategies, but when it comes down to it, the techniques and tactics and how you implement them are going to be unique to you and your business. And you have to figure out, okay, so a principle is that you need to ask someone to take action and to go through the conversation process to become a client, right? You need to give them a specific process to follow to become a client. That's a principle, right? And the strategy might be, you could reach out to them and you could start a conversation, and if they're a fit, you can suggest that you get on a phone call to have a better conversation with them, or a Zoom call or whatever. And then if you get on the Zoom call, then the strategy could be first diagnosing their needs and figuring out how you might be able to help them, and then prescribing, telling them specifically what you'd like to do with them. And there's a strategy there, but then what is your tactical implementation? How do you specifically reach out and how do you specifically speak in your emails? How do you specifically ask for a call? How do you like all of those things, you need to try a lot. And like you just trying more things, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to have success or you're going to have failure. You're going to have success or failure, right? You need to learn from the failures, reflect and journal on what you tried, what you learned, right? Also learn from your successes, but when something works, repeat it. Do more of that. And you can reflect on why it worked. Okay, so this didn't work, this did work. Why didn't this work? Why did this work? Okay, and then you have a new lesson or a few new lessons. And most entrepreneurs who become successful have a dozen or more failures. And this could be projects, offers, businesses, we've tried a million things. And we have to learn what works, usually through trial and error, through trial and failure. And failure is only failure if it causes you to give up. Otherwise, it's a learning opportunity, right? But I use failure because it's a recognizable word. So try things, have things that don't work out, have things that do work out, have things that don't get you the results that you want, have things that do get you the results you want. Try a lot of things and then learn from those. And I will say that so many business stories that you hear are a result of survivorship bias. And that is basically that we only hear the stories of the successes, right? So all these businesses were launched, one of them survives, and then we hear about that story. The key is that you have to be the survivor. Don't give up, don't throw in the towel, don't quit, right? You may need to dial it back. You may need to explore other options that you can run in parallel to this growing business. You may need to do other things besides just focus on the business, but you have to keep at it. You have to survive. You have to keep going. You have to keep doing it because that's what it's going to take. The moment you give up, the whole business is a failure. But if you fail at trying this thing to get clients or customers, trying this thing, you keep failing at those things, but you're learning from it and you're surviving, you're continuing, you're keeping moving forward. Well, then at some point, maybe you're going to learn enough lessons that things really start to click and you start to have the successes that you've been looking for. In the meantime, I would say, focus on less, not more. Focus on getting one customer, having one project go well, having one success, making that one sale. A lot of people, when they start a business, they think, I'm gonna make it huge and I'm gonna serve everybody. And okay, maybe, right? But maybe not today because you haven't figured out how to serve one person well. You haven't figured out how to make one sale, get one customer, get one client. So you have to figure out how to do that. And then you have to do it again. And then you have to do it again and you have to do it again. And a lot of times the things that we do early on are not very scalable. They can feel very limited, but they also are the best learning opportunities. If you have to go out in the streets and sell, let's say you have a physical product, you set up a booth at the farmer's market and you try to sell it so that you can talk to people about what appeals to them and what doesn't appeal to them, etc. Try to figure that out by actually talking to people, by actually trying to sell your product in person. Likewise, going out and having conversations with prospective clients and trying to figure out what would make them buy, what's the success criteria that they're looking for, asking lots of questions. And then you're going to get one customer and another. And then you can start to think about things like scalability, like putting together maybe a webinar for your whatever service it is, right? But for right now, it's about getting one customer, having one success, going through one project. And the other thing I'll say is for now, don't worry about being an expert. That was part of the question. Just do the paid work, make the sale, fulfill on the paid work, have that go well. Expertise is built from the beginning, but it's not something you can have from the beginning. Expertise is something that you build through creating successes. And you have to go out there and you have to start succeeding with clients in order to build that expertise. And the expertise will grow through time. And if you're pretending to be an expert right now, that might actually be part of the problem with getting clients. Because if you pretend to be something that you're not, it's not going to resonate and there's going to be a seed of doubt. And so for right now, just do the paid work, make the sale, get the client, go through the project, and deliver a great experience. The one last part of that question was about having the customers be loyal, right? Deliver a great experience and make sure that the customers get what they expected and they're going to be interested in coming back for more. That's going to be something that they want. That's going to be something that they pursue. Like, if a client is satisfied and happy and ecstatic, they're going to be predisposed to want to do business with you again. So deliver a great experience and do the work, and that expertise and the loyalty of customers and clients will grow. And just a reminder, like, if necessary, there is no shame for an entrepreneur in actually getting a job, some kind of alternative income, getting some kind of experience inside a business. Desperation does make it hard to get clients. Clients want people who don't need them, which that's an interesting dichotomy there. Clients want to hire people who are able to and willing to walk away from the deal for whatever reason. If you need the check, it's much harder to get the check. If you don't need the check, then it's much easier to get the check. And so if you need to get an alternative income source or job in order to cover yourself while you figure out how to make this business work, honestly, like, I worked in marketing and some sales for 4.5 years after discovering copywriting and deciding that I was going to become a freelance copywriter. I worked for 4.5 years in a job with only some copywriting work on the side. It was a marketing job, but with only some freelance work on the side, just so all my bills would be covered while I learned, while I grew. And it is okay to start in your spare time. And the other thing I'll say about that is I recently read an article that analyzed all these famous, like, startup founder stories. And so many famous startups and founders that we think of as lone wolf entrepreneurs going out creating a product that the world loved, they actually got their start inside other businesses or inside other situations where they were having their bills taken care of, and where they were collaborating with people in an entrepreneurial type environment. And so, like, the founders of Apple worked at HP and HP and one other business, I forget. But it was like they got the experience inside another business, and then they spun off and created their own business after that. And so it's absolutely okay to start in your spare time and gain experience on the job. So all of this to say, don't give up. Keep it going. You started your business for a reason. You want the ultimate freedom and possibility and income and potential and all of that can come from growing a successful business. 1 month is not a good timeline to decide if that business is a success or a failure. Keep going. Be the survivor. Keep trying things. Go out there, make it happen. And that's how things are going to happen. And assuming that this is actually a client business, don't forget to check out the Launch Your Client Business free mini course. The link is in the description. And, if you're watching this and that's interesting to you, check out the link. Again, it's completely free, no obligation or anything. It does point to where you can go even deeper. So I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Hey, I always aim to deliver as much value as possible in these episodes, and I hope that I've done it here. Really, what I aim to do is to increase your personal marketing genius, entrepreneurial genius, copywriting genius, one episode at a time. And I think we got a little bit closer here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.